Another connection to Bray Wyatt has been made with a horror writer that was recently brought back to WWE, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out the warning that Drew McIntyre had for The Rock, what Seth Rollins had to say, and more. Let's start things off with this news regarding a big name that was brought back to WWE. Fightful reports that Rob Fee has recently joined WWE full-time as the new director of long-term creative. Rob Fee was originally the individual that suggested for WWE to consider producing and developing a horror movie based on Bray Wyatt's Fiend character. WWE higher-ups reportedly liked the idea, but Bray Wyatt's release from the company obviously brought that conversation to an end. Rob also has a rich history of working with Marvel in the past as a horror writer. He's even done comics for Spider-Man, the Avengers, and so much more. He was even the head writer for several hit Disney shows. Rob just started working with WWE full-time in recent weeks, and his first project is something that fans are already familiar with. Rob Fee is getting all the credit for the creation of the QR codes that lead to all the teases and hints for the White Rabbit reveal. According to reports, everything involved with the QR codes was his concept and his doing, which obviously has been a massive hit for the fans so far. He's hiding QR codes in the background of different segments, flashing it on screen, putting them on clipboards, and all these other places, and it's been working greatly. Fans have been looking everywhere and have had their eyes glued to the screen lately, looking for QR codes. And the rollout of the White Rabbit mystery has been insanely perfect. They've generated so much buzz and excitement for the reveal without even directly mentioning it on WWE television at all. So, how they were able to dedicate those teases so much for the White Rabbit, while not even dedicating a single second of WWE television to it, was quite the accomplishment. Reports all claim that there's been nothing but great things going around about Rob Fee's work. And considering his background of being a horror writer, some fans are wondering if Rob Fee will be working closely with Bray Wyatt and the White Rabbit storyline. Not only does he have genius ideas like the QR codes, but that history of writing about horror sounds just like he'll be the perfect fit to collaborate and work with someone like Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's character from day one has been all about horror and mystery, so Rob seems like a natural fit. And if the QR code was in fact a collaboration between Rob and Bray, then they're already making some great magic, and it'll be exciting to see what else they can collaborate on. Clash at the Castle was the first time that fans thought Roman Reigns actually had a real chance of losing his undisputed Universal title. There were so many things that meant to hint at Clash being Drew's night. There were video packages about his life, he got his old theme song back for one night. It just felt like if they were ever going to take the titles off of Roman, that this would be the night. And everything lined up well within the storyline. The Usos couldn't enter the country. Paul Heyman was still injured at the time, so Roman was legitimately on his own for the first time in many years. And Drew McIntyre almost had him several times in the match, but who Drew didn't account for was Solo Sikoa. Solo made his surprise debut to make sure Roman Reigns left that arena with the undisputed Universal title. Drew McIntyre reflected on that loss and jokingly revealed his strategy for the next time he meets Roman Reigns in the ring. McIntyre had this to say when speaking with Dallas Morning News. Quote, "And apparently, I'll have to go through not just the bloodline, because I did that prior to Clash at the Castle. Then the elders and a new member, Solo Sikoa. I'm gonna have to literally go through the entire family, like door to door. And I like The Rock a lot. It's gonna pain me deeply when I go through the entire family. Have to go to Hollywood, tap The Rock's door and say, 'I'm sorry, brother,' and then beat him in his own doorstep, because it's the only way I'm gonna get that title off Roman." End quote. So that's gonna be Drew McIntyre's tactic to defeat Roman Reigns going forward. If the elders are gonna send someone to defend Roman's title reign every single time he has a close call, then Drew McIntyre thinks he should just take out all the Bloodline family members before the match, so that they can't interfere during the match itself. It's funny that Drew McIntyre name-dropped The Rock, because the popular theory is that The Rock will eventually be called into this story by the Elders. But everyone knows that The Rock wouldn't be called in to help Roman Reigns. He would be called in likely to stop Roman Reigns. So Drew McIntyre is making The Rock guilty by family affiliation. But The Rock may very well be against everything that Roman is currently doing. It's still too early to tell if we'll see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But if they're ever going to pull the trigger on that story, WrestleMania 39 just seems like the ideal time and place. So we'll have to wait and see what direction they plan on taking Roman Reigns in for WrestleMania next year. Seth Rollins recently had a great interview with BT Sport where he got deep into several topics. One of the topics Seth discussed in great detail was Hell in a Cell 2019. This event featured one of the most horrific and worst finishes for a pay-per-view and Hell in a Cell match in WWE history. And a majority of fans all agree with that. It's not an exaggeration at all. After one single match as The Fiend, WWE instantly put Bray Wyatt into the world title picture with Seth Rollins. And as a result of creating that matchup, they instantly wrote themselves into a corner because they didn't want to make The Fiend suffer a loss in his second match. But they also didn't want Seth Rollins to lose the Universal title. So their best idea was a disqualification. No contest for a match that's popularly known for having no rules. The finish was trashed instantly by the live fans in the arena and all the fans at home. Seth Rollins spoke about what was going on backstage at the time and how him and Bray tried to get the outcome changed. He had this to say, quote, "I could have moved on to something else, and Bray could have had his run as champion. But that wasn't the case, and we played the hand we were dealt. And that was not our call. I know he would tell you the same thing. That did not go the way we wanted it to. We tried, and we tried, and we tried. And the boss at the time would not budge. Like I said before, it is not our sandbox, you know? We are actors on a stage sometimes, and we read the lines." End quote. And Seth has a great point. Actors aren't responsible for creating the scripts and making changes to the script. They just read and act out what they're given, and that's it. And WWE is very similar. Obviously, a majority of the talent, especially under Vince McMahon, weren't getting much of a creative say. You were going to do what the script told you to do, and that was the end of the conversation. But Bray and Seth saw what was coming from that horrible finish, and tried to reason with Vince McMahon about a change to the finish. But he wouldn't budge, and it resulted in what many fans claim was the worst Hell in a Cell finish of all time. Seth Rollins also said that Bray Wyatt's character is hard to properly work with in WWE, but he said he's more than willing to work with Bray Wyatt again down the line. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.